Beauties, hi! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shweta and today we are going to be reviewing these two beauties. That's the Ordinary Coverage Foundation and the Serum Foundation. So many of you have been asking me to review this. I already featured this in my top foundation video for oily acne skin, so you can check it out if you want to see other favorites of mine. But this has been a long overdue of a review, okay? I know that I was supposed to do this. I mean, it's been almost what? A year and a half since this has launched, but better late than never. And since many of you are thinking of picking up since the Ordinary has started functioning again, I thought I might as well help you out with it. I love it. It has worked beautifully on my skin. You know, for oily skin, it works really well. The coverage foundation gives you a little more coverage for your acne scars and marks, and the Serum foundation is very much like a BB CC cream, okay? It's a much more thinned down version of it. And for me, I love the Serum foundation much more than the coverage. So I love to mix it up, frankly enough. I've been mixing up my foundation a lot. If you saw my, updated foundation routine, you would know exactly why. Hit the link right here. It's like an entire masterclass, what I've learned from professional makeup artists and from attending masterclass itself. You know, the entire base routine is locked down. So I mix these two and it just gives me a very beautiful finish. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to do half and half. Half of the of my face will be the serum, the other half will be the coverage foundation. Now you can buy both because it's only £5 each. That's the beauty of the Ordinary. They're giving you quality for a very good price, considering that thank God that the Ordinary has come back into action. You can just go pick it up. I hope that it won't go the non-cruelty free way, because I heard Estee Lauder has bought it already. Deciem is a Canadian brand, and under Deciem, there are so many other skincare, and the Ordinary is the one that really excels under Deciem. They're cruelty free, like I mentioned. This is the bottle, and what I love about the bottle is that though it's just around £5, I love that they thought of putting a pump applicator, which is really important. And when you're traveling, look at it, it's so good to travel with this because it's very light, and you also have a lockdown system to the bottle, so you just have to twist it, it'll lock it, and that just assures that your foundation doesn't spill out. So you're getting 30 ml for around £5. There's a lot of shade range and undertones in this range, and that is what I love about this foundation. Everyone can find a match. They have made it a little more easier for you by saying 2.1 wide, like there's 2.1 undertone, neutral tone, and there's 2.1 Y. Y means the yellow undertone, so if you're warm undertone, you can pick up the yellow one. I was a little more tanner during the summer when I picked this one up, and now I'm a little more paler, so we shall try to make this work. Now, when I did the updated foundation routine, a lot of you were asking why the primer and why an ice cube after the primer. For me, an ice cube and a mixture of ice cube and a setting spray works much more better than a primer. If you have large textured skin and pores, don't go for a silicone based primer because it has a tendency of blocking your pores and enlarging your pores. So primer is exactly not important. You can always go for an oil primer, or you can go for a mattifying primer that is not silicone based. So as soon as I pump it out, you will see that it's got like a watery texture. It's got like a very runny formula. It's got that very diluted, liquidy texture to it, and that's what I love about the Serum foundation because of how thin it is in its formula, and it gives you a very skin-like finish. So I'm just going to take my stippling brush. You guys have explained why a stippling brush in my updated routine, and I'm going to stipple this. And I have found that even the Serum foundation, when I stipple it gently, it covers all of my acne marks. Can you see that? I love a good yellow tone foundation. It works really well. It matches my skin tone. I just love it. It warms my face really well. And this is like my skin shade in a bottle, and I'm really happy with this. And because of how thin it is, can you see that? It just melts beautifully and seamlessly. It just completely melts. I'm not going to extend it to my neck because I'm not going out after this, but I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone with this tutorial. I'm testing two products out basically. One is this, and the other one is a Huda Beauty Nudes palette. Look how beautifully it's blended. It's not accentuating any of my textures, my fine, my fine lines, or it's not accentuating my pores, which I have plenty of. You guys know I always keep it real when it comes to my skin. There is no filters or whatever on my channel. I always like to show you what my skin problems are, and it's just covered it beautifully. I really love the Serum foundation. When you're traveling to these humid, hot places, or even if you're going to a very cold place, you just need your foundation to be extremely thin, giving you like a skin-like finish. And that's exactly what the Serum foundation does. The coverage foundation, as you can see, is a lot more thicker and gloopier. It's supposed to give you a lot more coverage. Well, no brainer there. And I'm just going to pat the same thing, and I'm just going to keep stippling it. And it is not as run down, thin and watery like the Serum foundation. Please don't get me wrong, okay? I really love the coverage foundation as well. But something about the Serum foundation just works better on my skin. And when you have acne prone skin, and when you especially if you are above the age of 30, you want your foundation to be a lot more diluted, lot more water based. What I want to tell you about the Ordinary foundation, it is great for people with matured skin. So if your auntie or your mom is looking for a good foundation, like the NYX Total Control Drop is great for matured skin. It's got like it's like a water based, and it's very, very hydrating. And that's what this does as well. It doesn't dry up, though it is meant for people with normal combination to oily skin. It's not going to dry up. So if you have an amazing primer underneath, you can still make this foundation work for you. So this is cheaper than the Total Control Drop, which is also another favorite of mine. That is what my mom loves, and that's why I put that on her in my Makeup for Matured Skin video. This foundation has a tendency to warm up just a little bit. It does not oxidize badly. It does look very yellow, especially the coverage foundation has got a lot more yellow tones than the Serum foundation. It makes my skin not as cakey as a coverage foundation would usually give you. It gives you a very skin-like finish, but it is not as skin-like like the Serum foundation. When I touch my skin out here, it has that very soft, almost, I can't say powdery matte, but there is a softness to it. Whereas out here, there is a slight stickiness to it. Because it's a full coverage foundation, it's giving you extra coverage. So don't be alarmed if it's looking like really yellow. It will warm up. It will suddenly, it's like it takes the tone of your face into consideration, and it will just completely melt and adjust. So this is how the foundation is looking right now, without anything on top, no translucent powder, nothing. It's looking a bit yellow. This is looking a lot more yellower than this side, but it's going to warm up. So I'm just going to show you how it is. This is the coverage foundation, and as you can see, it is giving me that little bit of that oily feel. It has got like a sticky, tacky feel to it. This gives me a little more of a glow, whereas this is just perfect. Can you see how seamless that is? It has covered my acne marks. It has covered whatever the problems that I have. Okay, so now that I powdered it up, I'm just going to put the rest of my makeup, and I shall be right back. Alrighty guys, so I have finished the rest of my makeup. I just did another review of the Huda Beauty New Nudes. Okay, so that shall go up very soon. It's been about an hour since I have worn the foundation. It has warmed up really well, because while I was doing the eyeshadow bits, talking about it, it took me an hour to film that. I have to say that, can you see that? That has really mattified. And this, the full coverage side of it, there's got a little bit more oil coming through. It's seeping through basically. But I do like the look of both the foundation. It looks very natural, though this has full coverage. It is still giving my skin a more skin-like finish. So I'm not too worried about that, but this is still my favorite. Alright guys, it's 5:45, the sun is setting, so I better wrap this up really quickly because I wanted to show you the foundation. I always show lipstick and foundation in natural light. So here is the full coverage, and you can see that my oil is seeping through. Can you see that shine? It could be also because of the that Makeup Revolution highlighter that I wore, but I also wore it on this side, the Serum side, and it's looking a lot more matte than this side. Saying that, it is absolutely beautiful. Both the foundations are my favorite. It's been my favorite for quite some time. If you're coming to the UK and you have your chance to get on the two of these foundations, just pick it up. Like I said, it's great for matured skin. I would give the Serum foundation a complete 10, and I would give the Coverage foundation an 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, I shall see you very soon in my next. Don't forget to tune in for my Huda Beauty Nudes palette. Like I mentioned before, don't buy it till I review it. I shall see you soon. Bye.